Nick in Germany emailed me recently asking for a private lesson on how to play After Midnight by Cale. We had some technical issues, so I decided just to make a YouTube video and put it out on the channel. So this is how you play After Midnight by Cale. I'll start out with just the intro and the first verse, and then I'll break it down for you. After midnight, we're gonna let it all hang out. After midnight, we're gonna chug a lug and shout. We're gonna talk and cause some suspicion, give an exhibition, found out what it is all about. After midnight, we're gonna let it all hang out. Okay, so you can see there's a lot of chordal repetition as long as you continue to play through the verse. So it kind of gives us a bluesy feel all the way through. So just to get started, there are a couple of things I need to go over. First and foremost, the chords. You have a D major chord, D, F sharp, and A. There's a G major chord, G, B, and D, but you play it in this configuration with the D on the bottom. That way you can go from D to G very smoothly. And occasionally you bring this up to D, A, and C to give what we call a D7. This would be the seventh note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We don't play the F sharp necessarily. So you have sort of these chords. Then you have F major, F, A, C, G again. Okay. And then G, and then A7, which is A, E, A is C sharp, or C sharp, A, and E. And you're going to add a G to it. E, G, A, C sharp. The G makes it an A7, just as you would go from A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that gives you an A, and then a 7 being the G. And that is it in terms of the chords. So the way I play it, first of all, is you've got a D with the D chord. And you keep that D at the beginning of the introduction. All that's going on in the introduction. As well as you're kind of kicking down to the A, and it takes you back to the D. Like that. So the basic feel of this, and you simply go from D to G to D, just like I showed you before. Do that 3 times in each measure. And then in the 4th time, you go up to the D7. And then we kind of come back down to the D again. And that's sort of a particular way. That's sort of a blues lick. So we've got the beginning, D to G, keeping the D in the bass, A, D, A, D, A, D, and then so you got that kind of emotion. So that last phrase is going to end with this D7. And then a G to D7, G to B, F to F sharp and A from your D major chord. Now, the best way to finger this is not what I just showed you. You want to grab this with fingers 1, 2, 3, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on piano. 1, 2, 3 to 1, 2, 4 to 1, 3, 5. Then your 2's over the G. There's your D7 again. Your 2's over the G, your 4's over the B. And then your thumb will come here. Play the F sharp and A. So just to give you the whole measure again, that last phrase. So rhythmically, it's going to be like the first couple of phrases where the first go. Here, though, you're just going to change. Sorry about that, I missed that. To be quite honest with you, I never played this literally anyway, but I'm showing how it's actually written and played exactly the same way every time. So just to go over that intro one more time, we have so again, okay. Now after that, you're just simply going to play the chords. After midnight, we're gonna let it all hang out. So you've got D to F and G. D, F, G, D. We're gonna D, F, give an exhibition. G, what it's all about. Or this. Or you can add an E to it. Don't mean to be too confusing. You don't have to play everything exactly the same way, just as long as you're following the chords. And then here. Now, what I do when I'm actually playing the tune is that I maintain the feel of the rhythm of the introduction. So I'll do something like this. After midnight, we're gonna chug a lug and shout. what that was like from the introduction. And that's just sort of a variation of it. One of the things that you want to see, that I want to point out to you, is to give something a bluesy feel, would be to take, for example, the D chord and to play the F going into the F sharp, like that. Or and then here, when we go to the G, we can go like this, where the B flat slides into the B. So, after midnight, we gonna let it all hang out. See how I'm just playing the F into the chord? And then you get to the A7. Find out what it is all about. So again, you're going into that D chord through the F. Now, you can play the F sliding in from the A flat to the A. B flat to the B for the G chord. So again, all three of these chords going into the middle note, right below it. Notice that. And then F. So I could exaggerate and use all of these devices all at one time, which I wouldn't recommend, but it's all there. Notice also I'm breaking up the chords. So instead of playing like this, I can break up the chords. Just as if a guitarist was playing different strings at one time, or playing different notes on different strings, and not all at once. So you've got any type of combination where you just end up going into the final notes. Okay, so then if I kind of give the feel. Now, I know if you haven't played popular music and you're just not used to playing music that's not written, it is kind of hard to get the feel. But if you can just kind of follow just the feel of it, like something along the lines. Or to expand it a little bit. So that's basically how you play the song. Now, Nick asked me about the guitar solo. And what he does, what I do is I keep the bass note and it's following the same chord progression. I'm doing is I'm pretty much staying within the chords. This is part of the D. I'm also using sort of what we would refer to as a general pool of notes. And I can't really explain very easily how we come up with these notes, but I will say this, these notes work. D, E, F sharp, G, A. You can play B or C. So that's kind of, if I were you, I would just sort of play exactly what I played. So you're playing these notes. See how you can treat that, you can include that in your solo. That's a lot of notes, but the point is that you play off the notes that work. All of these notes will work. You can just kind of play around with it. If I were just brand new at this, I'd probably go. So notice with the D chord, one of the F sharp, so that is kind of the best I can do in terms of showing you how to play the song. But what I can do is go through this and almost play this like in slow motion as a sort of final way of going through this. And I'll try to be consistent. If there's a little variation, it's only because once you get good at this and have experience at it, you can't help but vary it because you understand how the chords interact with each other. But I'll try to be as literal as I can. Now I'll do that again with correct fingering. find out what it's all about. After midnight, we're gonna let it all hang out. After midnight, we're gonna shake your tambourine. After midnight, it's gonna be peaches and cream. Gonna cause some talk and suspicion, give an exhibition, find out what it is all about. After midnight, we're gonna let it all hang out. Your solo. Stimulate some action, get some satisfaction. Gonna find out what it's all about. After midnight, we're gonna let it all hang out. And I end it like this. So I hope that helps. This is a song that has some peculiarities to it that have to be done a particular way. You got to get that rhythm. Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba ba. That just kind of has to be through the whole song. And I hope that the video is clear enough for you. So let me know your comments. This is the best setup I have technologically, but I hope that I've been very helpful.